What's going on, people? So, let me tell you about this. I call it the revelation of relationships. All I hear all over on social media, especially on Facebook and YouTube, talking about relationships, your do's and don'ts. You know, what type of place you should, place in a relationship should be in the palace or playground. So I said that to say this. Remember what the Bible said, take the beam out of your eye first. But really, the Bible said, how you gonna tell somebody they got a mote in their eye, knowing you got a beam in your eye? You must first get rid of the beam out of your eye. So I said it to say this. Men and women, before you accuse anybody about situation about relationship, make sure you talk about you first. Either if you're right or wrong, talk about you. I mean, if the relationship, if that person is that bad, and even though you do know it or do, even though you do know it or don't, just don't say nothing about it. Just move on along. When you start talking about bad things about a person that you was in a relationship, and that happened 4 months ago, you still hurt, but she moving on. You still want to put the blame about, because her actions, how we respond, that doesn't go for anybody, especially me. So, but these relationships, stop pointing at a finger at this person, and you got three fingers pointing at you. Your last relationship, your present relationship, and your future relationship. What you done in the past and the future is going. What you done in the past and the present is going to happen in the future. That's if you don't get that mote on your eye first. If you don't change the situation. If you think like, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do something better, and that end to come out sour or rotten or foul. Something going on with you. Period. It's something going on with you don't want to change, or you just don't recognize. You just don't understand about it and just move on. I know a couple of people. Excuse me. That been married three. You've been married 3 times, or 4 times, or 5 times. One time, okay. Yeah, one time that's great. 2, that's still good. But if you may have been 3 or more, and you get the same results, if all your exes break up with you, something wrong with you. But if you break up with all of them, something wrong with them. So for those who in the podcast or radio stations or Facebook, Instagrams, always talking about relationships. Really is them, and not her, or him. So if a man on doing this thing, always talking about a relationship about a woman, really it's him. Same thing with her. If she's talking about the guys, really it's her. So, but there's more to that a lot of people don't want to reveal or don't want to discuss, because it will hit a nerve and get them shake like earthquakes. Facts. Racks. Anyway, get that mold out of your eye first. Solve the problem that is in you first. If all your 3 ex-wives or ex-husbands divorce you, and they're all saying the same thing about you, like something wrong with you, not supposed to be here, to hear that, time for a part. So I get it. When you out there like that, you calling for help. It's not only you talking about you talk about your ex, but you asking for help too. When you put it out there, you asking for somebody to help them. When somebody does help you, you disrespect them because they're telling you the truth. When somebody hit your nerve, you gonna get upset and gonna flip too. I'm just saying. It's just like you got a mouse in the house. You're trying to find a way to get rid of the mouse. So what you do, you set a chop with the cheese and put peanut butter on top. And when you catch the mouse, you don't have no more problem. Same thing with us. We got a problem. You just gotta put certain things out there to find out, to see what it is, see what attracted like. The problem is the mouse, which is you. Now you gotta put the cheese in the trap so the mouse can feed into it. You just gotta find a way to. It's like when 3 or 5 or 7 people telling you the same problem that you don't have. You don't listen. You hard headed. You think you know everything. But all 3 of them say the same thing. Something wrong with you. So in fact, hold on. So I even take it further with y'all. So let's talk about your daddy. Is your daddy doing the same thing what you're doing, or worse? Better yet, what about your granddaddy? What about your great 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 granddaddy, or one of your ancestors? The reason why the man and the women that act how they act, because somebody in the family passed the torch towards them. Their mother, the grandmothers, the great great grandmothers, or somebody came to them with oil in the lamp and turn around, take that same fire and put it in the torch. Or somebody had a torch and turn around, throw that torch away and just pass the oil in the lamp. That was it's about. So that cycle came from somewhere. So when the guy talking about them, it's about this woman, this woman, this woman. Really, it's them. The dad did the same thing. The granddad did the same thing. Or their uncles did the same thing. They probably got it from their surroundings, or somebody they look up to, or from television or magazines. Only God knows. So remember, when you point a finger at somebody, remember 3 fingers point at you. Then on top of that, when you're talking about somebody, you put it out in the world. It's like not only you crying for help, but it's like you got an issue and you don't know how to solve it. You looking for somebody to help you to solve it. And like I said, here's the thing. When somebody does come and help you and solve it, once it hit a nerve, you going to do something that you're going to regret. So all I hear is about, relationship is this woman, that woman, this woman, this woman. What did you do to cause that woman to act like that? Or, you knew she was about before you choose her. So you can't blame her because she always like that. You just didn't know until in that right time and she just revealed herself. Same thing goes for you. Okay, even though you're on there, you got 2 or 3 divorces, you got kids, you single, but your resume says what? Your mouth says everything like you know all the answers to the relationship, but your resume is like you've been in 2 divorces, you got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 kids, and none of your kids don't get along with you. Like, even if they do get along with you, and even though the kids get along with you, but you and your wife, separated or divorced, you just can't go in there and talk about, your ex-wife, about, what happened between what your ex-wife did to you. That doesn't go for all women or dudes. So, well, some women do, be honest. It's like the beginning of the Bible, like Eve was being honest to God. It's like the serpent beguiled me. So, but yeah, just when you point that finger, remember that 3 fingers point at you. When them 3 fingers point at you, it's something going on with you. Because that one, it's just that one points her. It's just that one witness. But 3 fingers pointing at you, that's 3 witnesses saying the same thing about you. Because then don't say the thumb pointing at her too. No, the thumb is in the air. Thumb like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. None of my business. It ain't my problem. It ain't my territory to talk or step into. And then the story here is that I know a dear. It's like she was like a wonderful dear friend to me, like a sister. Until after I saw what I saw. I mean, I'm the problem too because I waited too long. Well, I sit too long and I wait, and then I saw the real deal. But the short and the thing up, we've been friends. She wanted to take it to the next level. I said, well, we just gotta fast in and pray and see what God can do. And then turn around, a guy came to her side, and I ain't heard from her in a while. I was calling to see what's going on. Kind of found out she admitted she was like, she back with her baby dad. Well, she back with her ex boyfriend. The ex boyfriend, the one that abused her. She went back with him. She said that he changed, and the dude was like, who's this dude? Why you talking to him? If you want to be me, you got to leave him alone. You got to cut everything off. And she did. She cut everything off. She threw away our friendship because of him. They're not married. They're in a relationship. And when it was all said and done, and they went their separate ways, she came back to me like none of this never happened. So when she realized I ain't had nothing to say to her, she's like, what's wrong? What did I do? And I was like, you know exactly what you did. You throw the friendship in the garbage can and put the lid on top of it. No, before you put the lid top, you spray some air freshener, then you put the lid on top of it. But she explained herself until what happened. I said, okay, I understand. Then she was waiting on me. That didn't happen. And then she met another guy. And this is another stranger. Young guy. Say he loves the Lord and all. Then it's like she met this young guy. She was really into him. She did the same thing again. Only this time she threw our friendship away for another stranger. So I left her alone. To sum all that up, she did the same replay 4 times or whatever, and she got mad at me because I didn't make a move at her, and I told her why. She told me about my situation. I confessed it, and then it's like, now she said, well, now she said like, I believe he's the one. She said she told me to delete her number, delete all the message. She blocked me from Facebook and Instagrams. I was like, okay, cool. With all respect, I'm just grant your wish. And turn around yesterday, she inboxed me a question like out of nowhere, and I was like, here she go with that again. I just, I didn't want to, jump the gutter and say she gonna respond to one with nothing. And behold, she announced to me that her and the guy break up. And I tell her, I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, I pray that I hope you find what you're looking for. That was that. So, everything I told her, like I said, you keep doing what you're doing, what you're looking for, you're not gonna find it because you're so in a rush. And I said, whatever you're trying to do at the end, you're gonna be by yourself. And look what it comes to fruition. And then there was this was my ex. We was friends at the beginning, and then she told me a secret, to me was a red flag, and I said, nah, I ain't gonna work because that's a strong spirit you got. That you gotta do strong things to get rid of that spirit. Make a long story short, we didn't talk for like a couple of days. One day she called to check on me. We talked, and a year later my birthday came. She gave me her heart She gave me her heart. She said in the card, I didn't pick up what she said, and then when she showed me, I like, oh, so you want to be in a relationship. So because she, did that for me on my birthday, I give her a chance. We've been together for doing a relationship, we was going through all on and off stuff, and I know I had a problem because one, I was hard headed. Two, I didn't want to listen to nobody. And three, it's like my answer was the best answer. Like, you can't tell me nothing. But she got sick and tired of it. Then the secret she told me what she had, it finally came to fruition. She was serious about this person, and doing things that are so cornball and corny. She's went and done it anyway, and then realized, she cheated on me. Even though I tell her about my past relationship with my ex-wife, she did the same thing. Not the same, not the exact same thing, but that one pattern, she did the same thing. And then she put on Facebook, she was talking about me. She said, I'm in love with you. She said, I love you, but I'm in love with you. But she said, there are some things about you that I'm not ready for yet. Even if I tell her that, she don't remember. So later on, I realized she was talking about, marriage. So, excuse me. She fell in love with the same sex person. They've been together for 5 years. She was real happy. That's all that mattered, because her whole aspect changed. Like, she went from dressing like, no piercings, no tattoos or nothing, going to church, into the Bible. When she went with the other person, same sex person, she had tattoos, she got pierced, so she wear tight jeans and all other stuff. Like I said, they've been together for 5 years, and now on the years later, she's trying to reach out to me, whatever. And a forgiving person I am, I just see what she was talking about. And when we talked and everything, her voice and everything sounded the same. But when I see her on the phone and all, I was like, wow, she's a different person. I mean, she's a different person, got all kinds of piercings and tattoos, and got toys that I ain't supposed to know. So I had to, leave her alone. God bless her. But back to the guys and the women about relationships. So the way you act and the stuff you put out there in podcast and on social media and YouTube, who passed you the torch to continue that episode of what you're doing? Who you get your torch from? The daddy, your stepdaddy, or your biological daddy, or your grandpappy? Which one? You got it. You got the torch. You got the torch from somebody. So, my people perish. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Like, I'm just using me for example. Say I've been through 5 divorces, which that ain't gonna happen at all. I don't want to make it 2, but say like if I get 5 divorces. I mean, if I get 5 divorces, like I need to check myself. Why I'm getting 5 divorces? Why? Like, you know what the problem is? We just don't take the time and look into ourselves and find out what the problem is. Get a piece of paper and a pen, jot it down. Or like people see some wrong in you, record it, or take notes, listen to it, replay it. Get into them brain cells like, hey, this is what the problem is. This will need to be fixed. Then you want to know why your kids get upset with you. And when they get older, they explode on you like TNT and like they ain't want nothing to do with you. Like I said, get the beam out of your eye first. Get that beam out of your eye first. It all got to start with you. All got to start with you. I went to the store to pump some gas, and I tell this young lady, I said, you got a beautiful smile. I said, but with respect. She looked at me, what you mean respect? I said, I respect you. What you want me to say? You want me to come holler at you? Hey, Ma, how you doing, Ma? You got a beautiful smile, Ma. Let me get your number. But I said, as a man, as a gentleman, as a mature man, let you know you got a beautiful smile, but respect. I'm respecting you. She just got quiet. She just said, I've been raised a certain way. I said, I understand, but it's not too late. So, part 1, Get that beam out of your eye first.